Now,
Start.
go ahead. Welcome to the Black Pony Amateur League. We have our defending champs, Viral, going up against Imperial Gaming. We've seen some really impressive gameplay so far, so I'm really looking forward to this one. As we get things started off, we are going to be on a retaliation hardpoint, and then I believe we're doing a Crusher S&D followed by a Precinct uplink. Is that right?
Scorch S&D.
Scorch S&D. All right, Scorch S&D followed by Precinct uplink if it gets that far. As we go on to the retaliation hardpoint, no real rigs that surprise me at all. Centurion, reactive and active are kind of the automatics. FTL jump Centurion. I'm actually on, I will say this though, on retaliation, I think that Warfighter is that's probably the best hardpoint map for using Warfighter, because we're going to talk a little bit about the keys to a retaliation hardpoint, and to me the key is going to be Graves and it's going to be Broken, because if you hold either one of those and you spawn your enemies or your opponents out, they have to trek all the way across the map. Overdrive gets you back in the fight pretty fast. Or if you want to hang on to a hill for a little bit longer, you can overdrive into the next hill on rotation pretty easily. So I would have preferred to see an overdrive over Centurion, or maybe an overdrive over FTL, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's really a game-changing difference for either. What are your thoughts on this, Kenya?
Overdrive is definitely something I would like to use in retaliation as far as team perspective. I don't use it myself, but I agree if you have a guy late in the game that has it and he can, you know, even rush Broken or Graves, like you said, it's really going to help out. Um, at the same time, if they're holding down that hard point pretty well, I don't know how effective it's going to be, but it's always worth the shot, always worth the chance. So I think it could be useful. Also,
Yeah.
I noticed that one team went with Power Slide and one without. I'm a fan of Power Slide. Um, After the nerf, not so much, but before, I actually like Power Slide. I didn't think it messed with the movement too much, so just a quick note.
Yeah, I know you noticed a lot of the pros actually didn't really like the power slide. A lot of them opting to, because the reason that they didn't like it is that it messes up with your G slide. So they think it slows you down a little bit. But I will say, when someone power slides on this one, especially through something like bike, it really confuses the heck out of me. So yeah, again, I think it's splitting hairs. I don't think it matters either way, but we're going to go ahead and get started here. Moving through the teams, Viral starting off with an ERAD, K-Bar, NV4, and a K-Bar. So 2 K-Bars, an NV4, and an ERAD. Nothing terribly surprising
I'm
here.
excited to see this ERAD.
Yeah, ERAD work. For this first hill, I think it makes a lot of sense. The first one typically is one of those hills where, like most hard points, there's a lot of battles going on and not a lot of points. So initial gunfights are starting now, and to me, Imperial's getting the first time they win the hill. They're going to get, looks like about 10 or 15 seconds of hill time before Viral's going to make their second push here. We are on with Warrior, who is 3-1 for the side of Viral and was one of the stronger players in our league last year. Already great gunfights coming in from both sides. So Viral breaks the hill. They're going to go ahead and take probably the last 8 or 9 seconds of scrap time, and we're actually going to see this going about into a tie game going into the second hill. So let's see here as we move in, about a 1-point advantage.
That bridge hard point, you get one push off spawn, and if there's about 20 seconds left, even though it's the first hill, you just give it up. Because the rotations for these next couple hills are so key that, them getting 20 seconds on that first hill is not going to matter. I think you just give it up immediately.
Obviously, I think the big one is when you go into Graves. That's where I'm perfectly okay with Graves seeing something like, giving up 15, 20 seconds of scrap time to lock down Graves. I'm okay with that. I have no issues with that move. It looks like here Imperial actually, they made a challenge with about 7 or 8 seconds left. I don't know if that was just kind of like one of those passing challenges, but they ended up taking the hard point anyway, so now they're jumping off to about a 20-second advantage. Monkey's still trying to get on the board here, but the slaying for Imperial, led by Descent, no one's really running away with it. Descent 9-3. That's obviously a great stat line to start off with. But I think what's kind of clutch here is that they're just kind of soaking up time and putting Viral in on these spawns. So now they've won Graves.
Imperial, yeah. I mean, they held most of the bottom street and they just instantly broke Cathedral. So I mean, that's exactly what you want to happen, and they did a great job with their rotations. They were a little late, but they had a three-man push that went really well, and they got a bunch of kills, and they ended up taking it. And looks like they're gonna hold it here for these 20 seconds. I don't know.
So,
They're gonna need some
I
help in the
mean,
hill, but this is
yeah,
this
you
is
know,
a good
that's
start.
this is a great start here for Imperial. You know, we haven't actually seen someone really challenge Viral this closely since our championship match of last season. So, you know, the guys from Imperial here really coming out of the gates hot for this for our league here. Obviously, we hadn't seen these guys play before. We hadn't seen most of them play before. But, you know, this is a pretty interesting start here. This is not exactly what I expected, and,
And
you know,
if you
really
showed me
spearheaded by Descent.
if you showed me Imperial's scoreboard, I would not say that they would be up by almost 70 seconds right now, only because they have one guy positive. I mean, the same
Yeah.
goes for Viral, but that's just crazy.
I mean, this has just been a one-man team so far. I mean, one positive player, 14-1, and you see him just. I mean, you know, Viral comes in. They finally do get the break. They're going to take Broken Building here, and it looks like, you know, there's not really spawns either way right now, so it's tough to tell whether they're going to hang on to it this whole time. But, you know, they get broken again, and Imperial takes it, and it's racking up some more.
You know,
There's
Warrior
still
has
one.
some early Warrior has early score streaks, and these can come in big in the later hard
Definitely,
points.
definitely. So let's take a look at Monkey here, who is going to be kind of sitting by the spawn as it transitions. He falls, and we go on now for the side of Viral. Looks like they are going to take the middle hard point when this transitions. This is another one where, you know, not a lot of time really tends to pass here. I'm on with Court Malo. Malo here soaking up time in the hard point as he, well, no one, they run right by him. No one sees him, so he just stays put and takes the time. But Viral's going to take
This is
about
another
10
one.
seconds back.
This is another one. I mean, you make a couple pushes and you don't get it. There's tons of fighting that goes down here, so I mean, I would keep sending two guys to kind of contest the hill and two guys to push for the next one because that one's just so hard to hold that I don't expect to hold it, but if you have guys contesting it the whole time, you're fine. Just don't let them get that time on there.
Yeah. And Descent, I mean, now up to 21-10, really carrying the Imperial team right now. I mean, this is
Got
just
as many kills as his teammates combined.
all of them combined. Yeah. So, you know, the Hotel Hallway Hill is about to time out here, and we're going to begin back at that bridge hardpoint we started with. You know, right now, it looks like neither team really transitioned too much towards it. You know, Viral probably has the early advantage here. Breaks are coming in for Imperial. Viral counters back, but
Viral's
yeah, really kind of
Viral's
getting
just
traded out.
I don't like the grave spawn that Viral's got right now, only because for me, if you spawn in broken, you have better lines of sight to graves than you do the other way. That's just personal preference. So I always think it's harder to go from graves to bridge than it is from broken to bridge.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, you know, coming off the bus, and you kind of better cover with the cars when you're coming from the broken
Camo
side.
use here by Imperial.
Yep, Descent's going to use his
Descent,
camo.
yep.
Not a whole lot out of it, though. I think he may have picked up one, but it
He
did
picked
give
up
them the
one,
hill, so
and he's going to get these last 15 seconds. I don't know if that was worth it. I mean, they're going to be up by 100 points, but these next three hills
so
coming up are really key. And if they don't play these well, you know, Viral's going to be right back in it.
yeah, and you know what's crazy here is when you think about this hard point and you say, you know, that Viral's down by, you know, nearly 100 and that it was looking ugly for them, but, you know, they have a decent stand here, and then if the next two hills are both hills where you can win 30 or 40 seconds. So I
See,
would say
it's
this is one of those where, you know, they're definitely not out of it. I mean, as you can see, they've done a great job on this hill, and they're actually going to come back within, you know, 60 seconds in a second here, and you know they've pushed out is what they've done. So you know they're soaking up hill time, and Imperial hasn't really been able to mount
Imperial
any
right
sort
now.
of.
The last set of kills or deaths they had were unnecessary. At 20 seconds, I would have given this one up, and they needed to push towards graves. And now they're doing it, but Viral's already got two people rotated, so they're going to lose that battle, and this is going to be trouble for Imperial.
Yeah, so Viral early hard point comes in. Viral's already got it. I mean, they were down by what, 110 at one point, and now it's a 40
Exactly.
point game. So this just goes to show you that for this map, we said yesterday with Throwback that if you win baseball, if you win barn, you win the map. With this one, if you win Cathedral or if you win Graves, and you win Graves and then you win Broken, you win. So I mean, this is about to be a tie game.
And for a second there, Imperial had a terrible split spawn. I don't know why, what caused that split spawn, but they had a terrible split spawn.
Wow. So I mean, Viral coming back into this strong after a 100-point deficit. Are they about to take the lead right now?
They are, and
Is this
Warriors
going to go
already.
down as one? Is this going to go down as one of the better hardpoint comebacks that we've had in this league? They finally
Warrior.
break 4
Oh,
down for the side of Viral, and
Warrior
if you look at
made
it,
a
Imperial with 6 seconds left takes the hill.
Warrior. Warrior made a great early rotation, and Recruit from Imperial actually got two viral guys down to stop that early rotation. But for a minute there, it was going to be scary because viral had a great rotation. They were going to be on this broken hard point. And they were going to be in the lead in no time. But that was a good hold by Imperial.
I mean, so now Imperial back in control, 20-second lead. I mean, but that was just a textbook kind of, that bottom B into the graveyard spawn. That was just kind of a textbook hold right there, and that goes to show you how much time you can get. Now, Viral, even though after we just talked about how great they played those last 2 hard points, they still need a break here. Imperial
They're making a panic
can't
push.
win it.
There
Yeah,
you go.
and I
They
feel like
finally.
this is. They kind of had to, though, because, once you get to that 20-second range where, like, scrap time can win it for you, Monkey's already sitting in the new hard point. This is going to be a lot of trouble for Viral. They've got to do something really quick here. They do have streaks to use. I'm on with Mortal now, who has his camo. So we're going to see if that comes into play soon. So, I mean, Viral now pushing back, sitting about, 40
Viral's
second.
Viral's mistake was after their first attempt at breaking Broken, they panicked and they started funneling in one at a time, and you're never going to win that way. And they finally didn't get it together till there was about 15 seconds left. So, I mean, if they would have grouped up after the first one,
Oh my gosh! Oh my
God,
gosh!
Mortal.
Mortal we were on with Mortal, who just had I mean, he's now got streaks as well. He gets his Hellstorm. He's got his camo. I mean, Viral has to be extremely careful here, just because you can't really afford to get broken and pushed out. But if he starts using these streaks on the next hill,
he got one of
I mean,
his
this is going to be
big.
I mean, he might be able to use some streaks and then take that, bridge hardpoint, and then Viral still has a shot at this. Bridge hardpoint comes in. I'm on now with Glocks, who has his FTL jump. You got to get in the hardpoint. Get in the hardpoint, Viral. You got to stay in this hardpoint. I'm looking now. We're on with Malo.
Yep, use your score streak. There you go.
There it goes, and looks like the break comes in. Viral now coming back strong. Imperial only needs 2 seconds. Viral trying to hold them off and get the time. We're at 2:40. It's a 10-second game. Challenge. This next engagement in the hill is going to decide it. This next one in the hill is going to decide it. Somebody jump in the hard point, Imperial, and Imperial takes it.
He
oh
had
my
a great score streak use at the end there, and they held it, but they got pinched from both sides, and it was just there was only one guy from Viral left in the hard point, and he was not going to hold it.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the point where it's only a 20-second game, unfortunately, that comes down to, like, scrap time, and that's where you see people that are, like, they can get 8 seconds here, 6 seconds there, and win it from you.
The late game Centurion too, big
late game Centurion, yeah. But I mean, in my opinion, Viral played the better second half. They were just trying to dig themselves out of too deep of a hole. What do you think?
I mean, I would agree. Viral for the second rotation of hardpoints, starting with lower street, they did everything right. The only bad part they had was, I believe, when they had Warrior rotating to Broken early, Recruit got a 2-piece, which really saved them. If that goes the other way and Warrior takes that, it would have been a completely different game. I think at that point Viral was only down by 7 seconds, and I mean they were already gonna get spawns. Viral would be getting spawns over there if they had picked up that hard point. So they would have easily been up by 30, 40 seconds at the end of that. So it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at the stat lines a little bit here. Descent obviously leading the way for Imperial at 35 and 23. Only 31 seconds of hill time, and I think that's a good example of what we were talking about yesterday. He was pushed out of every hill. I mean, he was. They would take the hill, they'd break it, and he would immediately push up and start slaying, cutting people down as they tried to come into challenge. So, definitely a great job there. On the other side, Basic putting in a solid game at 25 and 20. Of course, Recruit 19 and 26 did go negative, but I want to point out 2 minutes of hill time and 7 defends. So it looks like he was really their hill player. And then Monkey there, 8 and 25. It's not often you see someone triple negative like that and then actually win the hard point. So, he did rack up a lot of hard point, got some defense there, contributed what he could. But really, this was carried, I think, by Descent.
Yeah, Descent had a good carry at the beginning. He got off to a really hot start. Basic came in towards the end and really turned his stat line around. And those two slaying and the other two being in the hard point really worked out for him. I really think it goes back to Viral when they had that panic push on Broken after they failed their first break. They just funneled in. I mean, for lack of a better term, kind of like lemmings, like one after the other, and they just died. If they would have just grouped up for 10 seconds, they would have could have had a better chance at breaking. And with 30 seconds left, it could have been different games. So
Definitely. Well, that was a heck of a start. Viral doesn't lose many VAPs based on what we've seen in the past, so I'm going to be looking forward to this S&D. We can go ahead and get loaded in whenever you're ready. And, I mean, wow, what a great first hard point. What a great first hard point with, Viral going down early and then coming all the way back. That was excellent. Excellent play from both teams. So as rigs load in, we'll take a look and see if anyone does anything surprising. Looks like Overdrive on the side of Viral and Centurion on the side of Imperial. Again, I think it's dealer's choice for S&D. Neither one of them is really going to win you or lose you a game, so I have no problem with either one of those. Scorch Hardpoint. What are you expecting to see here? What are we going to want to see for Scorch Hardpoint? What are the keys to the game? Sorry,
well,
not Scorch
S&D,
S&D.
yeah. So I guess it's going to be just based on the last game, slaying aspect. You're going to have to see Warrior versus Descent to see who can come up with a bigger game. They both started off hot and carried it through the whole hard point. So if they're going to carry that over into S&D, you're figuring they're going to have a bunch of kills. One's got reactive, the other one's got camo. Both big payloads. So I think whoever gets the more kills for those guys is going to be able to use their specialist abilities, early and often, hopefully. Camo you can definitely get twice in a game, especially if you go off in the first few rounds. Kinetic armor, doubtful. I don't think I've ever seen kinetic armor twice in one S&D, but a lot of diffuses, a lot of kills, maybe it'll happen. But I want to keep an eye on those two, Warrior and Descent. And I don't know where my partner in crime has gone, but I think we are going to start off with Warrior for Viral here. There
Partner
he
in
is.
crime was muted, so he's
There
back.
he is.
Now, I will say what I was actually saying here, the stream didn't get to appreciate, is that for me, the team who wins this is going to be the team that plays the long. Looks like Imperial. We may have to restart here if they don't get their last player loaded in on time.
He actually timed out.
All right, so let's go ahead and we will have to do a restart. You can go ahead and end this one, and we will try again. But that'll give me some more time to explain what I was talking about here. So I saw on the hard point that there were some really, really great gun skills and really great close range K-bar engagements in Broken as well as in Graveyard, and a couple actually as well in the on the early bridge. So for me, I think the team that wins is going to be one that can play long range better because I'm expecting high level short-range gameplay from both teams. So I want to see who has the best NV4. I want to see. I don't recommend a sniper on Scorch, but I want to see someone who can play a long-range weapon well and try and keep those opponents off your team. So we'll see who's able to do that best. I believe. Let's see here.
He is not back in yet.
Not back in yet. We'll go ahead and wait a few minutes here for the Imperial players, I think, and we'll see who is waiting to
It
time
was
in.
Basic, I believe. Basic was the one we're missing.
Basic. But yeah, so I mean, Scorch S&D will be pretty interesting here.
I mean,
Definitely.
this is gonna sound like blasphemy coming from me since I'm a heavy K-bar user, but on this map you could almost do a two NV4 two ERAD setup, and for us when we play 3v3s it's not going to work out, but 4v4s I think it could really make some good plays with it. You have long lines of sights at both bombs, and you have also close quarters combat at both bombs. So I'm kind of a fan of one NV4, one ERAD to both bomb site, rotate as necessary, and I'd be interested to see what kind of weapons they break out here.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think that ERAD is definitely going to be. I wouldn't be surprised to see an ERAD coming out on this map. I will disagree with you slightly though. I do not see how you can't have a K-bar. 2 NV4, 2 ERAD to me. You have to have K-bars on your team, right?
You would think so. And it all depends on the play style. So, well,
All right.
I could see
Well,
it both
Basic
ways.
is back.
I think I can make an argument. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead.
I mean, it depends on what you're comfortable with, right? If you feel good about the ERAD and you really feel like your range shot is that good, then I guess I could see it. But to me, the K-bar is just the overall best weapon. It's just not even. It's not even close. I would definitely say you need at least one. I would almost say you need at least 2 K-bars. But we've seen some pretty sick ERAD work in the past. So let's go ahead and get this thing started up as soon as we're ready. And we
I'm gonna
will
use
go back
switch to
in.
Codcaster.
Am I not on CAG? I think I am.
There you go. No, you weren't, but it was fine.
Okay. All right. So we're going to expect to see the same rigs. I don't think anyone's really going to change their strategy based off what they saw. And Centurion and Overdrive. So nothing surprising there. Nothing new.
I really want to see Recruit make a play with this Shockwave.
Well, interestingly, I think I know why people are using the Shockwave. They talked about it a little bit. It was the Atlanta Open, and the players don't particularly care for the damage component of Shockwave, but it does 2 things. One, they use it kind of like a mini FTL. When they're in the air, they can zip down to the ground faster, and 2, they use it to negate fall damage. Actually, is what I think it was one of the guys from E6 they had on an interview, and he was saying that. He uses it all the time so that if you go on a high wall run or something and you just want to zip down to the ground and not take any fall damage, he'll shockwave. But I would love to see some kills with it.
I've heard Apathy talk about that a few times, but I don't know if any of these guys watch CWL. I'm sure they do, but Apathy's got really good at using the Shockwave for damage purposes. So I agree with you. Most people don't use it for damage purposes, but I think if you use it long enough, you kind of get a feel for it. And
especially I've seen it. I think there are some especially in some hard points where it really can be effective. And what I'm thinking is when you're on, if you're somewhere like, gosh, I don't know, throwback, and it's the hard point under the bridge or the bomb site under the bridge, and they're under you somewhere, you can shockwave down on them, and that is sometimes effective. But I tried to use it and it just screwed with me. And I also didn't there's kind of like a draw delay after you use it between when you pull your gun back up, and so I never really liked that either. But again, the typical dealer's choice sort of thing. So as we get loaded in again, hopefully with no issues this time, everyone seems to be strong connections across the board. And let's go through some guns here. For the side of Viral, we've got a K-Bar, NV4, NV4, and K-Bar. For Imperial, K-Bar, K-Bar. What is that? A sniper or something? Can't tell. He's got a pistol, so that always makes me think sniper, but maybe he just likes other ones. And then for the basic, looks like a K-Bar. All right. Yeah, it is a
Check out
sniper.
Recruit.
Sniper is
He's got
out.
the snipe.
Recruit does use the sniper. We'll see here. I do not like a sniper on Scorch. Mortal gets the first blood. Early on comes to a man advantage for the side of Viral. Recruit now getting pushed with his sniper rifle. I would expect him to either
Hit
make some
marker.
hero plays. Gets
He's
the
got a
hit
hit
marker.
marker.
You got to put this away at this point and try and do what you can. Oh, I
my
thought we were about
God,
to see
he
a
almost
team kill.
killed.
Now, I will say this, for Recruit, as much as we're going to switch off him and take a look at Descent, but for Recruit was actually doing a great job of keeping himself alive with that sniper rifle. I was sitting there waiting for him to die. He never quite did.
No, don't. He just fell off the map.
Okay, well, he falls off the map then as I talk about it, so I guess I put the curse on him, and it is now down only to Descent, who was the strongest player for Imperial, so we'll see if he's able to make the 1v3. Bomb is down for Viral, so he's going to have to make a move fast. I don't see this one going in their favor, and Viral takes game 1. 1-0. And, I mean, you know, to me, the first blood was definitely a big part of it, but I just don't like the sniper rifle. I don't like it. I feel like if you don't get an early pick, I mean, you've got to get a pick within the first 10 seconds. Otherwise, you're just putting your whole team at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can. He's not gonna be able to change away from the sniper, but if he doesn't get that early pick, you don't play around it anymore. You make some different decisions there. I did like. He did have Full Metal Jacket on the sniper though, which I really appreciate.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have to try and wallbang someone with the sniper, whatever. We are now on with Glock, who is playing that. Oh, first blood comes in for Imperial, taking out Malo. So now Imperial with the advantage and the bomb. We'll see if they're going to put that down here. They're kind of all stacked up in this A building, the back A building. On with Basic, the bomb carrier. And they are down to a 1v3 now for the side of Imperial. So Mortal now trying to be the hero. He is... Looks like he's going to play this one a little bit slower. I don't particularly blame him. You know, I want to point out he has a Warden equipped, though. I do think that is worth noting. I don't know who uses a Warden in S&D, but we appreciate it. And Mortal trying to be the hero, can't do it, and Imperial ties it up 1-1.
And
So
let me
that
make a comment
time-
about Imperial there. Imperial had 3-on-1 for a long time. When you're up like that, you put that bomb down immediately, if nothing else, to get the score.
Yeah, that's a good point. You would have expected to see it go down pretty quick there. So, you know, early start here, Mortal trying to do what he can, pretty much across
Recruit
the board,
back
pretty
with the
even for Recruit. Put it away, buddy. We're going to give you the screen because you have a sniper, but I disagree with this in principle. Oh, you got to have that! You need to have that! That's what you have the sniper for!
All right, yep.
That is more or less the only line of sight on this map where the sniper is incredibly effective. You got to have that shot. Although Imperial does get first blood, so it doesn't matter, and the advantage goes to Imperial. Viral with the man down. We're going to switch over to Mortal, doing a little bit of work on the drill with the bomb. He evens it up at a 3-3, and quickly followed up with Malo there taking out Basic, and now they have the advantage traded out by Descent. Mortal's going to go ahead and put the bomb down. It's a 2v2. Engagements coming in. Now it's a 2v1. Let's go on the side of Descent here. The Imperial Superstar trying to get the 1v2 retake.
He's not going to see this guy on bottom. Nope.
And there it goes. Viral takes it. So Viral now up 2-1. And, you know, Viral, as much as we talked about how they were pretty dominant in the league there last season, you know, they were especially dominant on respawns, and I think that where some teams were able to make games closer was S&D for the Viral side. So actually for me now, seeing Viral play some pretty strong S&D is pretty exciting. Let's take a look. We're going to run through streaks real quick, see what everyone has. Mortal only, I think, maybe 2 kills from his camo, so that will come into play pretty soon. On the side of Imperial, nothing crazy. Descent, obviously, running their camo. I think that makes sense. And early engagements are going to be coming in around mid, and First Blood goes to Imperial, as Descent is going to take out Glock. So now, I mean, looks like Viral kind of playing a little bit slow, holding their positions. I do like what they're doing. Imperial, it looks to me like they're trying to set up an A hit, but now they're all going to rotate now towards Drill. They've got the 4v2 advantage, so this is, again, where you'd expect, they need to group up. They're spread out all over the map, and that's the only way you lose a 4v2, although it's not going to matter because they take down it looks like Warrior goes down, and now it becomes a 4v1. Mortal trying to do what he can. We'll see if he can get a pick here or there, but I wouldn't expect Mortal really to challenge too strongly here. 4v1, you don't want to give him the points, right?
I mean, actually, for him, since he's so close to camo, and it's only going to be the end of round 3, I try to push and maybe get 1 or 2 kills. And he's been tagged up and sees a guy. About to get swarmed. Yep, there you go.
There he goes. Yeah, I mean, 1v4, I guess if you're going for the camo, it makes sense. But for me, I'm typically, what I'm doing, on a 1v2, I think you can play aggressively. 1v3, I would actually camp and see if I can pick one, and then go into a 1v2. 1v4, I'm not even going to bother. I mean, again, I might camp it and see if I can pick up a kill here or there and then run. But
1v4, I'm jumping off the map unless it's for streaks or for specialists or something like that. But
I'm okay with people who just kind of sit somewhere in camp and see if they can pick a kill.
Yeah.
First Blood coming in for Imperial as they take out Malo and Mortal. Comes down now to a 2v3 as Glock trades out Descent. 2v2. We are even again, and now 1v2, it is up to Warrior. 1v1, bombs down. They're going to have to pick it up.
I don't think he's going to see him. He's watching bomb.
Nope.
Oh, yep.
And Imperial takes it. So Imperial now takes the advantage. 2v, they make it a 3-2 game. When we go into map 6, I mean, I want to preface this with saying that I think both teams are playing extremely well. But I also haven't seen any real standout yet. I haven't seen anyone make any hero plays.
No, I haven't either.
We'll see.
Imperial is playing well, but you brought it up last round. It seems like they have a dedicated path they want to take for the first maybe 30 seconds, and then they kind of spread out, and that's going to get them in trouble in later rounds if they don't stick together, I believe. We'll see here. Now, it's funny because both teams decided to hit opposite bombs.
Gotta love when that happens. So
that's
still no bloods yet. Oh, they saw him. You saw him, Mortal. And now he goes down there, so now they're going to get the advantage. Let's go on to Recruit here. Recruit's putting the bomb down. He's been doing some good work, hasn't gotten a lot of love on the stream, and he's using the ERAD, so we appreciate that. Although, that's why you need a K-bar. I would have, the ERAD shots were a little bit shaky, wasn't able to pick up the kill, even though I think he got first shot off. So now it comes down to a 1v3 on the side, and Imperial goes down. Defuse is going to come in. Block, why are you defusing the bomb? You already have your payload. I guess he's going for the Scarab. I would have rather seen them give that to... I don't know,
I give it to Warrior. I give it to Warrior.
Yeah, I'd give it to someone else and let them get it, but, we can talk about that briefly in here. Do you think Scarabs are even usable in this? I mean, I guess they're usable, but... I mean, even when I get it, I barely ever use them. I just don't think they're effective. They're not as good as HCXDs were.
They're not for 2 reasons. To me, it doesn't seem like they do as much damage up close, and other than that, they're not as fast.
Slow.
So you can't really get the information you could with like an HCXD. So I mean, unless you catch the odd man out not running Blast Shield, which nobody doesn't run Blast Shield in this game, it's gonna be tough. I'd rather give it to the fuse to the guy that's working on his reactive armor rather than get scared.
I agree. Well, Viral is going to take 2 quick kills here, and they're going to go up to a 4-2. Have not put the bomb down yet, as Imperial finally takes out Malo, and they now end up with a 3v1 here. So we're going to go on to Descent, see if he can keep the lead for Imperial. He's going to be moving around to the back of the A bomb site. This is actually the route I take when I'm retaking A. I think it's the best way to go. It gives you kind of the best view without likelihood of somebody running up behind you.
It's funny how
I think I
Descent's
put
the
the
last
bomb
one
down. I
alive in all
thought they
these
were going to put
rounds.
the bomb down at A, and they didn't. So they
No, they
rotated all the way
rotated.
back to B. Well, interesting. Yeah, I guess though on this with 3v1, I would take the B bomb side as well. So I don't blame you, Viral.
I don't think did Mortal see him? He did. Mortal
He
did
saw
see
him.
him.
He
Yep,
saw him.
gonna come in.
All right, Viral takes the lead for the first time in this or since the beginning, actually, the first time in this S&D. And now it goes 4-3 as we go into game 8.
Imperial had something working in that round at the beginning. It seemed like they almost got too spread out again when everybody went down for them. I think they're breaking their huddle a little early, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I think there's a really good stat I saw a while back, and this was for CWL obviously, so it may not be as extreme in our scenario, but
Mortal's got
if
camo,
you,
by the way.
ooh, we're gonna go on Mortal, see how he uses this camo. But I read a stat the other day that said if you get first blood and your team lives through it without a trade, you win 80% of S&D rounds. So that just goes to show you how important that is. First blood for this one is going to come in for Imperial as they take out Glock, quickly taking out Mortal as well. Doesn't get a chance to use his camo. Becomes a 2v2
Warrior.
and Warrior. I didn't even see what he did there, but he must have done something filthy as he takes out. Oh, there was about to be a team kill there. Imperial ties it up 4-4.
Warrior had a nice. He traded out the guy that killed Mortal, and then had a nice slide kill that. And it was just kind of filthy. The thing to note about that is too, he's only a couple kills away from Kinetic, and if they have camo and Kinetic going into these later rounds, it's going to be trouble for Imperial.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely giving him the bomb if you can. So we'll see how they play this. But again, looking at the stats right now, no one's got more than 6 kills. No one's got more than 7 deaths. This is a really even matchup right now for both teams. I think it may come down to specialists. I mean, who's got the camo for? I mean, Descent has got to get his camo. He has to. That's going to be. He's going to have to. They won't win if he can't pull his camo. Especially, Viral with a pretty good setup here around that drill bomb site. And trades coming in early.
Imperial
keeps it at a 3v3.
each
See, no one's really coming on the flank. Viral's just kind of holding the drill. They're not really being very aggressive. They do get picked there. Becomes a 3v1, and Descent finds himself in a familiar situation as he is 3v1 on the side of Viral. I guess we keep saying he has to get his camo or they're going to lose, but I think this is the third or fourth time now he's found himself at a pretty severe disadvantage. So it's tough to get kills when you're playing 3v1.
I mean, it's at least 4 where he's been down multiple people to 1.
Yeah, so I mean, a little bit tough to get your camo when you're always working like that, but Viral now 5-4, and I don't think they burned their camo. Were you able to see whether camo was used in that round? I don't think they did. I think they still got it.
Oh,
they got 3.
They've FTL, Kinetic, Reactive, and camo.
Yeah, this one.
I would expect
Viral
to be used.
Yeah, I'd expect them to be using this, especially on defense. I like using my payloads on defense better.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
First blood comes in for Imperial, so they go on 3v4 and they take out. What was that? The Kinetic? No, they took out the FTL. Save now. If you kill the guys with, there goes Kinetic. Camo has been used. Warrior uses it, picks up a kill, but the Kinetic fell. So now it's a 2v2 with no advantage. It's a 2v1, and Imperial ties it up at 5-5. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if Descent got his camo or not.
If Viral loses this is going to be the round that we talk about. This is going to be the round that we talk about where it all went downhill.
And I think I mean, right there, if you're viral, I would almost have told Warrior to just pop his camo and go mid to, proactively use it, and he might have done
But then if
better
you
in this
burn it,
case. I mean,
Descent does have his
it's
camo.
a 50-50 gamble, but
We're gonna stay on with Descent. He's been doing big things for this team. He
oh, I'm sorry, Mortal still has his camo. They used reactive in the last round.
Okay. Well, then that is a big difference, actually. So we'll see. We'll see basically which camo. We may see a counter camo in a second here if Descent keeps coming on this flank. No, he's going to turn around.
I would
I'm
love
going
to
to
see
stay on with
camo on
Descent.
camo.
We've been staying on viral a lot. I want to give the Imperial guys a little bit of love here. So we're gonna keep the POV on Descent. Camo comes in. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, and he falls. He isn't able to start shooting. That's the one where, I mean, I
And
don't
then
know if you
Mortal
saw
uses
him.
his camo,
Picks up Recruit,
and then
and
picks
then
up
it
a
comes down to a
two-piece. Oh.
3v1, and Monkey now the only one left alive for the side of Imperial Gaming. 5v5, you have to challenge.
He does have FTL,
I mean, on a 4v1, I'm not sure that matters.
picks up
Gets one.
one.
The only way you win a 4v1 is shadow games, right? You get a kill, disappear. Come back, get a kill, disappear. Come back, get a kill, maybe get a two-piece, and you win. That's the only way it happens,
And
right?
Viral's just gonna
We're,
guard this bomb, which is the smart
yeah.
move.
I think we're going to see an uplink.
He threw a grenade when he should have shot.
And
He pulled the
that
reload.
is it. Viral will take it. Now we're going to see an uplink. Viral wins 6-5. I mean, to me, the game changer was Descent using the camo. So here's what happens for those of you who either didn't see it or may not have been on that POV. So Descent uses his camo, charges the drill, sees about 3 viral guys all around him. But he doesn't want to give away that he doesn't want to give away where he is, so he never starts shooting until his camo's about up. In my opinion, what you do there is when you find yourself in the middle of 2 or 3 enemies, while you're still camoed, you take one out immediately, and you know you're going to die. So you take one out and you try and go after the second before you die and see if you can get a 2-piece before you go down. There's no way you're coming out alive, right?
I mean, I doubt you're coming out alive, but I agree with you. You need to rush through. You pick out the
Either
easiest
that or you
target and
need to
kill him.
see them and then try and take cover or something, you
Well,
know?
he had teammates behind him. What he should have done was just taken out the first guy he saw. Um, the other two guys for viral would have turned to shoot him, and they should have been traded out immediately, leaving a 3-1, 3v1, or 2v1, something like that. So I don't like the
Yeah.
full push through because you lose sight of the other players for your teammates. It's harder for
Yeah.
them to trade out the kills when you're behind the other team, and the rest of your team doesn't have good sight lines and everything like that. So
All right. Well, looking at the stats here, no positive. I mean, we had a 7-7 for recruit, but other than that, looks like no positive kill death on the side of Imperial. On the side of Viral, we have an 8-7, 7-8, 8-6, 10-6. So Warrior kind of steps up at the end there and really takes over and is able to bring the win in for Viral. But again, no hero plays, nothing really crazy. That was just a lot of really, honestly, well played S&D.
but I mean, on the flip side of that, is, uh, I think it was Mortal used his camo in round 11, and he got the first guy he saw. And I don't know if he got a two piece or he got an assist for the two piece, but either way, he turned camo into 2 kills pretty much. So I mean that was the exact opposite of what happened with Imperial. So that was probably your hero play.
Yeah, I would say that was the turning point of this match. So now I guess we'll go ahead and get loaded into an uplink here. We're going to have a pre-sync uplink. Well, let's get Codcaster going. All right, pre-synced uplink. Let's go ahead and get started. We don't see a ton of uplink in this league. We only had a couple, so I am excited for this. And pre-synced is one of those maps where you don't play it obviously on other game modes, so it's a kind of a fun one to see. I will totally steal something from, I believe it was Mr. X who did his video on how to play uplink here. And there is kind of multiple ways to go at both of the goals, but for him, he was talking about the keys for a lot of this being controlling the mid lobby where the drone spawn is, and then controlling construction, actually, especially if you're pushing the goal on that
Exactly.
side. That high construction ground is actually apparently one of the, I mean, I haven't actually played an uplink on this map, but it's supposed to be one of the more critical points that you can have. So we'll see who's able to do that better. That seemed to ring true for you. So you can go ahead and explain to me why he said that. How come that construction, that for those of you who aren't familiar, construction is this kind of half-built shed-looking thing at a high point on the outside of the drone spawn. But construction, and then I would also point out tickets. Why are those so important?
Holding construction when you're trying to score on that goal, you have great sight lines all around the map. And if you get a guy into construction, I believe, I could be mistaken here, you actually, it's close enough to the drone goal that you spawn the other team out. And
Mm.
they will either spawn, depending on where your team is, they usually spawn over in gas station or back alley. And if they do that, they either have to rush back towards construction or they have to wrap all the way around the map, which just takes entirely too much time. And it's easy to pick up the drone, bring it right out past construction, and just score multiple goals. So construction is a very big one. If you get any team spawn trapped in that back alley, it's just horrible because there's only two ways out. If you have somebody watching each way out, it's a bloodbath.
All right, well, we'll see who's able to do it. So good bit of insight there from our strategist, Kenya. Let's take a look at the guns. Let's see, K-Bar, NV4, K-Bar, and can't tell because he's on his fists for
K-Bar.
Viral. Now on K-Bar, so a lot of K-Bars. For Imperial, K-Bar, K-Bar, NV4, and K-Bar. So yeah, 3 K-Bars and NV4 for both teams. Nothing surprising there. I actually wouldn't mind 4 NV4s, or 4 K-Bars on this particular hardpoint. So early spawn drone control coming in for Viral as they go 3 down on Imperial. We'll see if they're able to make the push. 4 down now. Malo needs to make the move, and we'll see. This could be early points on the board for Viral.
Yeah,
although the spawns
Imperial is about to get pinched right here, although Recruit puts in a
3
nice bit of
down
work there.
Yeah, so 3 down then go for Imperial, and that's one of the things we've noticed about this new Infinite Warfare, is that he's going to throw it back towards his own base. Interesting move there. But it seems like you can actually get 3 or 4 down and still not get the drone pushed up by the time people are spawning back into their base. So this is one of those things, the strategy on uplink now, is you've got to get the drone and then continue to slay. There's no more kind of charging or getting, sneaking in a point here or there. You've got to get the drone, throw it up, move it up the map, and then eventually get back to slaying before you can ever score points.
You do, and I think the biggest difference between this and Black Ops 3 is, in Black Ops 3, the movement was a little bit different where you could run around with the drone in hand a lot. In this one, as soon as you touch it, if you're not going to put it in a goal or throw it towards the goal, you need to throw it up so that you have your gun ready, because in this game, being down to a 3v4 with one guy holding the drone is just absolutely recipe for disaster. You're not going to win that way. There's no holding the drone in this game unless you're going right for the goal.
That's only going to be one. Recruit, when did the dunk come in? I missed the dunk there. Recruit now coming in, gets some slaying out of top ticket and ends up putting Imperial on the board. And looks like Monkey now moving through middle. He's going to have to turn around, and he's going to be pinched. This is not going to end well for him. He goes down 3 for the side of Viral. They get 3 down. They're going to be pushing up the drone. Here, we'll see if they're able to make it matter. He's got to throw it, and he does get it, giving Viral the 3-1 advantage. That was a great toss. Slane coming in, counter Slane, I guess you could say, for Imperial, and Warrior now already got the drone, but doesn't really have any support to push him. He's going to need to get some lead blockers here. He passes the drone, smart, gets one before he goes down, and now Malo's going to wrap all the way back around past Statue. He's going to be coming up by gas station, going through the middle now, in the middle lobby, up to construction, and let's see, they've got, looks like Imperial does have a player there, but they don't see him.
Nope,
so he's going to wrap around the back. They don't even know that he's there. He's got, get your boosters back.
He's going to hold it. I thought he was going to hold it, and he should have held it.
He was out of booster. He was trying to. He couldn't get away with it.
I thought he was going to intentionally hold it, which was, he had nobody in middle to pick up drone. I thought he was going to give him a chance to go back and
Now this is going to be
Pick up the
points for
drone, but
Imperial unless they, yep. Man, Viral really actually kind of got a lucky spawn there because they went 3 down, got spawned out. Imperial was pushing towards their base. Somebody spawned kind of by statue and was able to see the drone
great
carrier
spawn.
running up the middle. So, that actually they lucked out a little bit there. That could have been a dunk. It ends up only being a 1-point play. Viral back on the move here.
I think if you're Imperial here, you've only got a minute 30 left. You're trying to score towards that ticket goal. There needs to be a lot of throws coming at the ticket goal. Just push it up and throw it when you can, because that goal is so open compared to the other one that you need to make as many throws as you can in these last minute. Try to get some points on the board here.
And this is scary if you're Imperial because from what I've seen, Imperial, they kind of have the more popular, or the more preferred side.
They do.
I believe the street goal is actually typically one that you see people score more on. So now they're going to be playing on the harder side, and they really, in my opinion, they've got to get another dunk. They've got to make this 5-4, or they're going to be in a serious trouble. Descent comes in on the flank, isn't able to finish it off, and the dunk comes in for Viral, spending too much time trying to kill the lead blockers and didn't shoot the drone carrier.
The only thing that's going to be good for Imperial here.
17-7.
Oh wow.
Mortal
the only thing that's
really...
going to be good for Imperial here is if they can get a spawn trap in round 2. There's a chance to score a bunch of goals, but that's going to be their only hope.
Yeah. And it looks like Imperial had someone drop out. Now Imperial had a player drop. We'll see if he's able to get in. Yeah, we're gonna have to see if he's able to get in by the second. Guess we can't pause it. Well, haven't had this issue on an uplink yet. Is that the same guy?
Basic indeed.
Yeah, I mean, Basic should be able to load back in, correct?
I had to invite him last time. I don't know if he'll be able to load back in or not. I think I guess we'll go ahead.
we gotta play it out.
I was gonna end it and just give him a 1 round.
Yeah, we can do that. Go ahead and end it. So, we will play. Are we going to play a second round now and just have Viral at 9-2?
Yeah, we'll just start it. We'll just start. Right. We'll only play half a game. We'll just have Viral at 9-2, and we can calculate based on the score.
All right, so Viral is going to, I will send messages and make sure they know, but Viral's going to get a 9-2 advantage going in to the next half. Do we need to make them switch teams so that they can play on the opposite goals?
They do need to switch teams. That might mess with your overlay.
Yeah,
but they need
well,
to
we
switch
just won't
teams.
use overlays. Is it NSF? Is that it?
Viral needs to be. Hang on 1 second.
SDF. That's it. Yeah. Should be switching teams now.
See if I can get Basic back in here.
And Basic is back in.
Yes, so Viral will need to be blue.
I think we've got it. If it's backwards, we'll deal with it then. We only have one half to play. Let's go ahead and get it going as soon as they're at least on the right teams here. Who are we missing? EKN needs to switch over. Is that it?
Uh, DKN. Yep, that's the only one.
He's the one I messaged, so. Wait on
And
you, bud.
if by some miracle, well, I'm not gonna say that. If by some chance there is a tie, we would just play the second round as full round
Yeah,
overtime.
works for me. All right, he's on. Let's go ahead and get it going again.
Give me 1 sec, and we should be good.
So yeah, a little bit of connection issues for Basic here.
He was having some connection issues before the match. I know. I believe it was an Xbox problem. We've all had those.
We have all had those. Ain't that the truth? All right, so Viral will go in with a 9-2 advantage. So for those of you just joining us, we are playing the second half of our game 3. Imperial took the hard point with what was an early lead and almost terrific comeback from the side of Viral, although ultimately finished off by Imperial. They did a good job closing out there. And then a very close S&D, which really came down to, in my opinion, proper payload use. And Viral ended up taking I believe it was a 6-5 S&D.
All
So
about the camo use. That was to me. It was funny how both camos got used in round 11, and one was a not so great use, and one was a good use. I mean, if you go camo and you get a kill, that's what you're supposed to do. But if that camo leads to a second kill because you tag up a guy and your teammate finishes him off, that's a best case scenario.
yeah, no, I agree. And I've been in that situation actually that Descent was in, and so I don't want to hate on him too much. Where you basically use
No,
camo, you push through, and you realize that you just saw 3 people, and it's kind
yeah.
of that target overload. You can't get all of the people at once, so you don't know what to do,
Well,
and
we've all been there. It's
eventually,
it's it's a little
yeah,
panic almost.
it's a bit of a panic, and then I think the smartest play, honestly, is just accepting the fact you're going to go down. So you say, all right,
Yeah.
I'm going to tee up this guy, and then immediately try and snap onto this guy and see if I can get 2 before I fall.
So,
Either that or
just
you back out.
real quick for this round for Imperial, they're gonna have to push construction very hard. They're gonna have to
Yeah.
spawn out viral, and uh, that's gonna be their only hope is to get a spawn trap and just keep feeding that ball from the spawn to construction and dunking it.
Well, we'll see if they're able to do it. I assume we're going to see a lot of K-bar work for both teams. And let's see. Come on, Basic. He's in. All right,
He's in.
Basic is in. We are going to be good to go.
I seen Erad coming out from recruit on Imperial.
Interesting. I appreciate the ERAD. We're going to go ahead and give Recruit a little bit of ERAD
And he
love.
switched it. He switched it, of course.
Boo. All right. So, early slaying coming in. We'll see. They got basically, for a reminder, Viral is on a 9-2 advantage.
Turn around, turn around.
As we...
Imperial had a great setup, and for some reason, when they got the drone, they didn't watch the mid hall. They turned around, tried to go out back door, and 2 guys went down. That could have been their opportunity right there to get the spawn trap.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to have ultimately. It's going to be, if I'm Viral, you can play this one much more conservatively. You play a little bit closer to the drone, play for drone control. You don't have to push out too much. You don't have to challenge quite as much as you normally would. You don't have to play for as many points. But, of course, as I say that, Glock tries to make a play up the street and gives up the drone to the side of Imperial. And Descent going to be carrying the drone as they move in. Looks like... I mean, still nothing really yet, and with 1 minute
I don't
down.
know. Basic and Descent here have a good thing going.
Basic, he should have. I think he's gonna have a toss here, although they really do need the dunk. Comes in, gets the 1 point, so that's gonna make it now 9-3 for the side of Viral. All 4 down
Recruit's
or
gonna
for
have to
Viral
hold.
though. We'll see if
Recruit's
they
gonna
get
have
the
to hold
spawn
this.
trap.
They did.
They've
They did.
got it.
They did.
Viral spawning out. Viral spawning
Somebody's
out.
gonna
This
have to.
could be close.
Somebody needs to
Somebody's
get
got to get on that drone,
to
though.
spawn. Somebody needs to get to
Uplink
spawn right
comes.
now and just hold it. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, if you're Viral right now, you don't panic. You say, all right, guys, get drone control, get base control, get our spawns back. We're okay. We have a huge lead. But that is 3 points for the side of Imperial now. And you've got Viral. I mean, it's now, what, 9-5? This has become a much closer game. Now, Viral does take control of their base again. They are kind of going to... They're going to kind of stop the bleeding here. And
they do.
with
And
about...
Imperial's problem is they keep sending one guy at a time now, so they need to wait for everybody to spawn up. They need to make a push, and they need to get 3 down, at least 3 down.
Yeah.
Make a really strong push.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Imperial Imperial,
kill.
I think they got a little bit excited with their spawn trap there. They saw it, but you know, what was the mistake they made? It seemed like they had the spawn trap and then they lost it. What was the mistake?
The mistake was nobody was at drone spawn to watch that mid hall when the team spawns out at gas station, and they were able to come through drone spawn and take construction and take statue.
Alo had an easy toss, missed it. He had to have that. That would have been a big point on the board for Viral. As it is now, only a 4-point advantage. So let's see, 3 down for the side of Imperial, and Viral now going to be pushing the drone up. I think we're going to see points. I think we're going to see points here. Maybe not.
Stopped
Imperial
it, I believe.
putting on a great stop, throws it off, and they stop it again. So, you know, Imperial really looking like a different team in this kind of second restart here. They pick up the drone. Looks like they're going to be moving towards construction now, getting control of that angle.
They've got a great push going here. Great push.
Oh, he passes it as he's getting shot. Does get the kill. Where did the drone go? Drone was reset, I think. Yeah. Drone was reset. That should have been points for... I mean, he passed it to a teammate who was about to be in an engagement and unfortunately ended up backfiring on him.
He passed it to his lead blocker. I don't know why he passed it to his lead blocker.
Well, I think they didn't realize that there was going to be a defender coming up. So now let's take a look at Descent here, who's 12-8, been doing a lot of work, picking up kills and tickets here. 4 down for Viral, even though they have the drone, and they get a dunk. As 3 go down, Viral gets the dunk in. I mean, I guess... Was no one guarding the backside of their base? That's not something you see every day.
I don't know how he snuck through, honestly. I wasn't on his POV, and I just happened to look up at the mini-map, and he was right next to the portal to score. I'm not sure how he snuck through.
So we're on with Corshall now with 40 seconds. I don't really see this working out in Imperial's favor.
Viral's about to get a nasty spawn trap on Imperial.
Well, I mean, hey, it's 4-4
nope, they went
now.
Down. They went down.
So,
Not
I mean,
time.
Only 20 seconds left. I think this one's going to go to Viral here, but Imperial really showing some, you know, it ends up being 4-4, but only because of kind of a backdoor dunk, I'd call it, from this side of Viral.
Yeah. Imperial
really looked pretty strong in the second half here, way stronger than they did in the first half. So it is all up to Blocks here, so you can see if he can get some points in before it ends. Aren't able to do it. 4-4 means that Viral now takes it 13-6, and that will give the series to Viral. So Viral actually drops the hard point, comes back, clutches up on the S&D, and then finally takes it in the uplink due to a strong first half. So let's go ahead and end this one, and we'll talk a little bit about what happened here. Looking at the stats, first and foremost, only one positive player, well, actually, no. Yeah, only one positive player for the side of Imperial. And I mean, they had one 11-11. On the side of Viral, you know, 14-12. Mortal with the 16-11. Glock 14-12. So pretty interesting. You know, again, this entire game, we haven't seen, you know, except for, I would say, Descent and that hard point, no one has really gone off. No one ran away. No one put up incredibly high slain numbers. Let's talk a little bit about what just happened here. Give me your analysis. How did, overall, either for this uplink and the entire match, what happened?
The first, I'm going to talk about the second round here. The first 2 minutes of this second round, Imperial had everything going their way. They were slaying good. They got 4 down on Viral, and they had the spawn trap set up, and the problem was they had two guys actually at the apartment's portal, and they had nobody watching the mid. I mean, absolutely nobody. And when Viral spawned in the gas station, they simply swarmed the drone spawn, and they had two go through construction, two go through statue, and they easily took back their base. If they had one guy there to contest, one guy to throw out the drone, they could have gotten at least one more dunk. If they'd got men down, they would have gotten another two dunks, and then it would have been a tie game. So I mean, I think it's tricky because if you haven't played uplink and you don't know where the spawn traps occur, where the other team spawns, you're not really sure where to set up. So, this might be a good lesson for them as far as, if they get that spawn trap in the future, where they need to have people set up. As
Definitely.
far as viral goes, they just played a well-rounded match. They outslayed, overall in the uplink, and uh, they had better pushes, in my opinion, in the first round. In the second round, they really didn't. I mean, they had that one fluke. I'm gonna call it a fluke goal because I don't know how that viral guy snuck through the whole
The
base, but
backdoor dunk. I'm patenting
the
that
backdoor
term.
dunk, yeah.
Backdoor dunk. All right, so that only leaves one thing. Who is our OC Gaming MVP of the game?
I'm gonna give it to. I believe Mortal was the one that had the camo in the S&D.
Warrior.
That
I think it
I'm
was
sorry.
Warrior. They had the 10-6 in S&D.
Uh, I was just
Well,
thinking about the guy in round 11 who used camo for viral.
I want to say it was Warrior.
If it was Warrior, then Warrior gets the MVP because that was the key to winning the round 11 of
I was thinking
S&D.
the
And
exact same thing. Yeah,
if they
that
don't win
that
that, they
last
don't go to
S&D,
uplink.
the excellent camo use is what won them this. So I was going to give it. I believe it was Warrior who popped the camo and won it, but he will be tentatively getting our OC Gaming MVP for this game, and that will do it for this matchup. So Viral coming out strong. Obviously, we knew they were going to be good. Definitely more of a challenge than they're probably used to. I mean, they were really. It was looking pretty tight there for a minute. So that just goes to show you the overall how far this league's come and how great these teams are. But obviously, Viral takes it 2-1. Imperial for kind of some of the first time we're seeing some of these guys. This is going to be a team to look out for. This is going to be a
I,
team that we're going to see a lot of.
I would agree that both these teams, a very promising future for this league. Imperial, I can't stress enough how great of a change they made for that second round to come out so hot. And I think if they would stuck with a little more, the next time this happens, I think they'll be ready. But they made a great change for round two. They came out hot. They easily could have won that or tied it up. So I'm really impressed with Imperial and Viral. Viral just always seems to play well, so I'm impressed with them also.
All right. Well, that will do it. For those of you, our next matchup will be announced at some point early next week. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter at Black Pony Gaming. Visit us at www.blackponygaming.com. Or you can always find us on Twitch whenever we are streaming Amateur League matchups at COD_Black Pony Gaming. This has been Reload and Kenya, and we appreciate everyone watching with us. This was a great matchup. Good games to both players and teams.
GG's, guys. Good night.